Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, class 8. We are studying the chapter about shirk, polytheism, and bid'ah. And in that relation, there is lesson number 1, evil omens. So you can see here the pictures that are relating to bad omens, and first we will see that what are the bad omens and why these are prohibited in our life, why these are against our religion. Bad omens actually are the baseless thoughts that have become a part of our society, and we feel that uh, these are true. They become a part of such an integral part of our life that we don't even think that they are good or they are this is a good idea to think about such things, or it is a bad thing, it's forbidden in our life. So we just say that today this is the date of 13, I will not do this work, this is not good for me. Or we say that, oh, I was traveling and a black cat and just crossed my way, so it will be very bad for me. This such type of such thoughts that have become a part of our life, but these are forbidden in our religion. Why these are forbidden, why these are not good to think such things, so we will see this in this lesson. And we should correct our ideas, we should correct our thoughts relating to all that bad omens. So start reading that lesson and we will see what are the effect of all these and why these are forbidden. So look on the lesson. Believing in evil omens is an ancient superstition mentioned by Allah in the Quran. The disbelieving nation used to accuse people and their followers of believing evil omens. Allah described the people of Iran as follow. So it is also mentioned that in Quran that even the old people, they have deep beliefs in the omens, as Allah Almighty said in Quran, وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَطَّيَّرُوا بِمُوسَى وَمَن مَّعَهُ أَلَا إِنَّمَا طَائِرُهُمْ عِندَ اللَّهِ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. What's that meaning? And if a bad condition struck them, they saw an evil omen in Musa and those with him. Unquestionably, their fortune is with Allah, but most of them do not know. So, from that ayah, we come to know that even the people of the old time, the people of Fir'aun and Fir'aun himself, they believe in the bad omens, and they think that they think bad about Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. And what's the reply of Allah Almighty? Allah Almighty said that their fortune is with Allah, but most of them do not know. So it's mean that whatever good or whatever bad is going to happen or is happening to us is only because of the will of Allah. If Allah Almighty does not want, nothing can happen to us. So believing in all that things is forbidden and it's a sin. There is an other ayah Allah Almighty described in the adversaries of Prophet Salih alayhi salam. قالوا طيرنا بك وبمن معك قال طائركم عند الله بل أنتم قوم تفتنون. They said, we consider you a evil omen, you and those with you. He said, your fate is with Allah, rather you are a people being tested. So such having such beliefs is actually a test of the people, that they have the deep belief in Allah Almighty, or they just believe the things are so powerful that they can affect their life, they can affect their fate. So look here, the mushrikeen of the Makkah saw an evil omen in Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَإِن تُصِبْهُمْ سَيِّئَةٌ يَقُولُوا هَذِهِ مِنْ عِنْدِكَ قُلْ كُلٌّ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ فَمَا لِهَؤُلَاءِ الْقَوْمِ لَا يَكَادُونَ يَفْقَهُونَ حَدِيثًا. If good comes to them, they say this is from Allah, and if evil befalls them, they say this is from you. Say all things are from Allah. So what is the matter with those people they can hardly understand and any statement? So all these ayah from the first ayah that is given to us, and there are second reference and the third reference, It's all show that the people of the different ages always they have the omens, they had the baseless thoughts, and they are involved in shirk, and they believe in all that things, and they feel that if there is something bad happening to them, it's due to the prophets. Actually, the prophets came for their safety, to save themselves from the bad uh, consequences, but as they were against the prophets, so they attach all that bad omens to the prophets. So Allah Almighty just replied all their baseless thoughts in Quran. Again and again we can see different references from the Quran about all that. Look on the next page. Such were the customs and the attitude of the people without iman. So here we are on the point that if a person has such type of the belief, it's mean that he doesn't have iman in his heart. When we have deep iman, when we have deep faith in Allah Almighty, we should believe that everything that is good and that is bad, everything is from Allah Almighty. Nobody can influence our fate. Nothing in this world, no object of the universe can affect our fate. Pre-Islamic Arabs used to consider the direction taken by birds or a sign of the good or bad fortune. It was the custom of the Arabs before Islam that they take omens from their arrows, from the birds, and on the different things. On this basis of these omens, they made decisions about journeys and other activities of life. What's that meaning? Here is given an example to explain. For example, if an individual set out on a journey and a bird flew over him and turned to the left, he would see it is a sign of the bad fortune, turn around and return home. So such were the beliefs of the Arabs, of the people who were before Islam. They thought that if a bird just fly over his head and turn in such a particular direction, it would be bad for him. If he travel, it would be not a lucky travel for him, so he would return towards his home. Such all the bad omens they just keep in their hearts. This was called tiara. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited this practice. Ibn Masud narrated, and Abdullah bin Masud called, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الطيرة من الشرك. So this type of practice, when they just set out a bird before their journey, and if the bird take a particular direction, so they feel that this is good for them or this is bad for them, this practice was called tiyara. But Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that it was a custom of, it was an action of shirk. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said tiyara, evil omen, is a kind of shirk. This practice is haram and is a type of shirk for which Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam disowned. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam never practiced such things. He had a deep belief in Allah Almighty, and people saying he is not one of us who observe omens in birds, or has someone do it for him, or predict the future, or ask someone to do it for him, or practice magic or ask someone to do it for him. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that such a person is not from him, from his ummah. He disowned the person who, what they do, who observe bad omens, just like it is explained in the previous paragraph, just like take omens from the birds, from the arrows, and also the person who go to any person who tells about the future, who just see your hand and tell about your fate or tell about your future, and any person who goes to such people, and any person who tell about these things, and also those people who do magic. So all from all these people, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam disown such people. Pagan Arabs used to fear the effect of birds, moons, stars, demons, and evil spirits, believing that such things would cause them harm. So Arabs believed that this bird or this month or this type of star, these are not good for us. They also have that belief in evil spirits, and they thought that such things are have the deep effect on their life. If they do not avoid them, they will harm them. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited such superstitious beliefs and ordered people to rely on Allah exclusively and keep steadfast in pure Islamic belief. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked people to avoid such type of beliefs. He asked them to have a deep faith in Allah Almighty, and don't think that such type of the things can affect their life. In actual, nothing can affect us. There is not good or bad for us until Allah wills for us this thing. Believing in such thing goes against Tawheed al-Ibadah and Tawheed al-Asma wa Sifat, because it is contrary to tawakkul or reliance on Allah. The tawakkul is a form of Ibadah. So when we believe in such type of bad omens, it's mean that we are afraid of all these things. We just have a deep belief in these things. So our tawakkul on Allah Almighty decreases, our iman level is decreases. It's mean that we don't have belief in Allah. We don't believe that Allah can save us from any type of harm if He wills. We believe, and even when we are so much affected such things, it's mean that we also pay our attention to these things. It's a kind of ibadah. We consider these things very important in our life. We give them so much importance that the Allah Almighty only deserve. We give this importance to these baseless things. So this is against tawakkul, this is against our iman, and this is strictly prohibited in our religion. Abdullah bin Amr narrated a hadith here: Man raddata tiyara min hajatin faqad ashraka. قالوا يا رسول الله ما كفارة ذلك؟ قال أن يقول أحدهم اللهم لا خير إلا خيرك ولا طير إلا طيرك ولا إله غيرك. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone is prevented from something by believing in evil omens and he has committed shirk, it's mean that if somebody has involved in such type of activity, so what is the now what he should do now? So people said, oh Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what is the expiation for that? Now what that person can do? Now what's the solution of that sin? So he replied, it is that one should say, oh Allah, there is no good but from you, no evil but from you, and there is no God but you. So only its expiation is just that you should say that nothing happens except your will, and you are alone, and nothing else we are giving so much importance. So such words will be the expiation from such type of the sins, will expiate you from such type of the sins. Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam denied the effects of tiyara in another hadith. Muawiyah bin al-Hakam told the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there are some among us who follow bird omens. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, it is only something you made up yourselves, so don't let it prevent you. So what was the reply of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He said that these are baseless thoughts. These are created only by the people themselves. They don't have any type of deep root. They don't have any reality, and they don't affect the life of the people. So that is, don't let it stop you from doing what you want to do. So if suppose a cat just cross your way, so it doesn't mean that you just come back from your journey. Or if any bird just move in a particular direction, it doesn't mean that you just come away or come back or turn from your journey, or just turn away from your work that you are going to do. Since such omens are all fictitious concoction of man's imagination which have no reality. These are just the imagination of people. These are just the thought of people created by themselves. They have not any type of reality. The Sahaba also strictly rejected all manifestation of the bird omens. Ikramah radiallahu anhu said, once we were sitting with Ibn Abbas, and a bird flew over us and screeched. A man among us exclaimed, "Good, good." Ibn Abbas responded immediately, saying, "There is neither good nor evil in it." So this was not only the practice of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not only the teaching of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but Sahaba Ikram also following the footsteps of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his teaching, they also follow the same thoughts, that such type of omens have no basis in the life of people. And here is given one incident, that once Ibn Abbas was sitting with some sahabas and a bird just flew away, screeched. So the people got afraid, but Ibn Abbas said there is no evil or no good in such type of the omens. He just rejected the bad omen, he just rejected all that thoughts. So it's a very important topic. Half is left, we will complete it tomorrow.